Alright guys, quick update. So, got the license plate light all wired in, and look at that, it actually works. So I don't have it wired in completely, just kind of testing it out real quick. But as you can see back here, got a ground clip. There you go, ground clip. It's going to ground anyway, it's going to ground onto that, and then I got my hot, and that's going to go down the channel to this trailer light when I get wired in. So as you can see, I have lights on. Took a little bit of working, but jerry-rigged the battery, ground and all that. Don't have anything really secure as far as the running lights up front goes, but I've got PVC pipe conduit running for my lights back here, and as you can see, I have running lights, and brake lights work, trust me. Running lights here. And again, PVC conduit, it'll hide, keep the wire protected, and a good old license plate light. That looks pretty good. Now I just got to figure out how to turn this off down here, because technically this would be where the license would hang, but I'm not going to use it, so I don't know, maybe tape it up and then spray paint it black, maybe, I think, because I'm not going to use it, because I got that one instead. I'm not going to damage the light because the light's still good. I don't know, if I decide to change it later on I will, but I think that is going to work. How's it going, guys? Just a small little update. Been a little busy. I'm going to give you guys another update on the kayak trailer here in a little bit. I've got parts on it that are a little bit more put together. Got about a third of it painted. Like I said, I'll give you guys more of an update later on that. What I've been working on since then, though, is I got a kayak cart here. Just some swing set material that my parents gave me up in Missouri. Dad, you might recognize some of this. Maybe. And then there's just some casters that I had. And I got some PVC pipe. So we'll mount it on one side and two sides. And that way I can back the kayak up, slide it onto the cart, and wheel it around, do whatever I need to do to it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I said, still working on the kayak trailer. I've got the tent platform here. I got to work on some struts and some kind of a way to assist opening it by myself. That's kind of the struggle at the moment. So more to come later. As you can tell, this brace, which goes on the front for the shelf, is no longer orange. You might be wondering, why would that be the case? Let's take a trip over here. Oh yeah, by the way, made it with a little kayak cart. Oh, it's real simple. 4-caster, no frame, with PVC pipe. Anyway, so if you notice on the shelf here, try to get the light just right. you might be able to tell little chips on the corners there. Not very sturdy. And so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to wire wheel all this orange, these two pieces, and then that piece there. Wire wheel all the orange, get some paint stripper, strip all the paint down, and I'm going to have it powder coated. I've got a buddy that is working on getting some numbers, buying the powder coating, doing a small job like this. We'll see how what he comes back with as far as numbers go, but I think it's going to be a lot better. Thankfully they're just small parts, so not a whole lot as far as that goes. Still undetermined if I want to do these brackets. These have been painted probably 4 or 5 times with several coats of the orange paint. These actually go on the trailer, and it's what holds the kayak sits on, basically. They don't ever move. They only come on and off whenever I'm doing something like this. Otherwise they get mounted and they stay. Don't think it's going to be necessary to powder coat those. Another quick little update. Did a quick trip to Granger Lake and found that the trailer was very, very stiff. And after a little bit of research and looking around, and had an epiphany, and I had seen a John boat trailer that a guy had, and it only had 1 leaf spring on it. Now granted, mine is a different type of trailer altogether, but I had 4. Now as you can tell, I have only 2 right now, and it is substantially which in my case is good. The only problem is when I had my PVC pipes up here, that tire would bounce and hit the PVC pipe, which is what the kayak sits on. So in order to fix that, I have to raise these back braces here up. Well, I had one hole there, and then I have another one here. So instead what I'm doing is I'm raising the hole from here to here, so that the bracket can be raised up and clear the tire from hitting the PVC. So yeah, had to put 4 tabs on the back here to raise it up. Not a big deal. Metal's a wonderful material. Grind it off, re-weld it like it was never there. So yeah, quick little update. I'll bring you back whenever we get these powder coated, or if I change my mind again, and we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. Alright, so after a long hiatus, I'm back. Quite a few things have changed here, so just kind of give a little bit of update here. First one, made a little cart. After I started making this, I decided I think I'm going to turn it into a somewhat welding cart. I'm going to put a shelf in the middle and put welding rods in the little welder, and grinders and grinding discs. Just make it easy to kind of wheel it around. It's pretty nice. All bed frame materials, some scrap plate. Just kind of made a little handle for it, you know, all free. So that's pretty cool. The second thing is the trailer is pretty much done. Well, sort of. So the trailer is all colored. Got everything back together. I got a little bump rail on the top here. Long story on that. I'm working on getting a spare tire, but it is painted, wired. Took a couple of trips with it, did great. The PVC extensions that I made did great, except when you back into a fence and you crack this, it ends your day pretty bad. So fixed that, which is why it's a different color. But yeah, it is pretty much ready to go. My next phase is working on the tent platform here at the top, which leads me to buying a few $100s worth of metal. So 4x8 sheet of expanded mesh, probably going to end up needing a total of 3 of those. It's going to go on the top. So the platform will be expanded mesh, and then when it flips up and over, the whole floor will be that. It's lightweight, and it'll accomplish what I need. Got some plate steel, so 4x8 of that, and then got some more angle iron right down here to finish working on the platform. I've got some bracing I need to add. Here it is, leaned up against the wall. So I got some bracing I need to put in there. I got some bracing that I need to put in over there. Let's zoom in. Yeah. So put some bracing in across there. That way, when the expanded mesh goes on top, it's nice and stable. But currently, as you can see, there's a chunk of the steel cut out. Currently, I'm working on making a toolbox. So 16 inches tall, and then I made a whole run, and then I'm cutting slits. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Can't remember where I first saw it, but cut slits in it so that way you can bend it, and then you just weld up the corners. Makes it pretty easy. This toolbox is going to go right here. As you can see, I've cut out this frame that was in the way. It's going to fit right here with a lid. It's going to be 16 inches tall, and then the spare tire is going to fit right behind it. So this will have my battery, wiring, lights, chains, tow straps, just things like that. Toolbox for tools. They'll have a locking lid. The idea is that things that stay with the trailer will go here, and then up here, I'm still, if any of you guys know of a company or whatever, I'm looking for outdoor boxes that have a hinged lid and a locking latch that would fit on these platforms. I want to permanently mount them, or somewhat permanently mount them, but I want to be able to mount them so I don't have to have a strap on it. Pop the lid, open it, and get whatever I want out. The idea for these are going to be like life jackets would go in here, tackle and fishing gear, things that is small, loose, I don't want in the vehicle for whatever reason, and they need to be in a storage container. So that's the idea, but I also want to be able to take them off if I want to put ice chest or something else here. So that's the plan on that. We'll get going on some more building. I'll bring you along for the ride, and we'll go from there.